Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Hey, welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Michelle Rubenstein, who is comforted by statistics.
And I'm here with my friend Seth Vargas, who enjoys tiramisu.
You want to know something weird? I don't.
I could take it or leave it. It's not what I'm ordering.
No. What are you ordering? Let's say you're at a nice, not a real fancy place, okay? But you're at a nice restaurant, just a good old mid-top tier. You just ate, but you've got room, and you can order anything in the world for dessert. What are you getting?
A decaf affogato.
A what? A what?
A decaf affogato.
What is that?
So it's espresso over ice cream with like a cookie and then cream. It's an Italian
You're describing
dessert.
tiramisu.
No. Well, right. I guess honestly similar ingredients, but you pour the espresso over the ice cream and the cream and the cookie, and it's so good. And so this has become like my favorite dessert of the year. But I asked for a decaf. And in fact, when we were together and we were getting desserts, I really wanted a decaf affogato because affogato was on the menu, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have decaf espresso."
Okay, yeah, I thought you said decaf avocado.
No.
Okay, all right.
So,
well,
what are you ordering?
A pudding of some type.
Oh gosh, I get such weird cravings for puddings.
They're great.
And then Aunt was like, "Okay, I'm gonna bring Mitch home pudding." And then the craving passed, and I didn't eat the pudding.
Sometimes that's how it goes.
I know.
Yeah. At the end of a meal, I don't like to eat dessert right after a meal. And what I have found is that it's easier to eat like a rice pudding, or hey, if you've got like a chocolate cream pie or a banana cream pie, coconut cream pie, I'm going for that instead of like a big piece, something I have to chew. No chewing. Chewing is over. I'm done. Anyway, what's going on?
Well, I started watching Bewitched before bed, and so now it's taken over all my free time in terms of I'm not watching it and binging it, but like researching it and listening to podcasts on it and reading about it and finding documentaries on it. And I'm like, and I told Aunt last night, I'm like, why isn't there a person or a podcast or a documentary on just the practical effects of Bewitched? That's all I want to hear and talk about. And Aunt's like, you're alone. Nobody is asking for that. And I'm like, as per usual, my interests are solo on it.
What year are we talking here? What years was Bewitched?
1960s, 1964.
Man, if you find some of the people, maybe just broaden your scope, do a show where you interview people who did practical effects on shows from the 60s and 70s. That'd be fun.
I know. I know.
Before they all kick the bucket.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I've listened to a couple of stuff, but like just hearing about the practical effects and then seeing them, it's good. It's impressive. And it still looks really good. And because you feel the same way, we love practical effects.
Right. We do.
So, yeah,
I haven't seen Bewitched.
Have you ever seen it?
I mean, when I was a kid.
Yeah, like on Nick at Night.
Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie.
Right, well.
Those two just went hand in hand in my head because it was magical women.
Right.
And then there's Mrs. Kravitz.
Gladys Kravitz.
Yeah.
So
and
funny.
My mom would always say, don't be a Mrs. Kravitz if we were being nosy.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's, I think, the enduring memory of Bewitched in my mind is Mrs. Kravitz.
Yeah. Do you remember Endora, Samantha's mother?
Okay, yeah, I remember. I didn't
Right.
know it was her mom, but yeah.
Yeah. I bet you remember more than you think. Anyway, that's
And
been
there's two
my.
Darrens?
There's 2 Darrens, Dick York and then Dick Sargent.
2
Mhm.
Dicks? 2 Dick Darrens?
2 Dick Darrens, yes.
That's crazy.
I know.
Okay, all
I
right.
know. You know, and then I'm practicing in the mirror trying to, can I wiggle my nose every morning? Mm-mm. Not like her. Not like Elizabeth Montgomery.
Let me see. I wasn't paying attention to you. I was doing my own.
It's,
Let's see yours.
Right, exactly.
All right, let me try. Ready? No. It's hard. That's very hard to do.
It's very hard. Anyway, what are you up to? What's new?
Been working a lot. I went down and did another interview on Sunday in the city.
Yeah,
Went to
where
the
are you
city.
going, by the way? In our inbox is an airline ticket.
I just booked another interview out in California.
Wow.
So this is going to be another like fly out, do the interview, fly back.
Oof.
It won't be quite as intense as the New Orleans trip,
Okay.
but yeah, no sightseeing.
Yeah, right.
I have no interest in LA. What am I going to do out there?
Oh my gosh. If I was tagging along, I would
Feel
drag.
free.
I would
You
drag
see the itinerary, go buy some tickets.
I would be dragging you to, backlot tours. We would be going to Vampira's grave. Like I would drag you to all of the things I want to do.
I would like to go to a grave or two, but I have no interest in like the Academy Museum. I know is out there. I mean, everything is out. It's all movie stuff out there.
Yeah.
I just don't have any interest in it.
Well, right. That's why I said I'd be dragging you.
Yeah. It will be very funny if I show up for my flight and you're there in line and you're like, guess what?
Wait, when are you going? You don't have to put this in the show.
I'm going. I'll bleep this out.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it should be fun. We got an email.
Email.
Subject line is Twister. All right. The email starts out and says, Map Talk. I love when you talk about random subjects. I laughed a lot. I had a tornado touch down a mile from my house in Georgia. It was the scariest thing that I've been through.
Wow.
Twister Game Talk, you next round. Todd Field is in this. Tar Game. And more Spielberg haterade fuel. P.S. Seth's DVD joke. And if you didn't listen to our episode on Twister, I made a joke about Twister being the first DVD because it spins around and around.
Yes.
PSS, I missed writing emails to you guys. Indian Cinema Month got me so far behind. Crying emojis. Hey, it's never too late to catch up on Indian cinema.
Please catch up. Please. Yes.
PSSS, I would watch any movie with Betsy. Oh my gosh, we got email friends setting up movie watching. PSSSS, never get rid of the accents. And then P with a bunch of S's, all the Twister love is blowing my mind.
Wow. Okay.
That email's from Ben. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
We missed getting your emails.
Yes, the email king.
If anyone wants to dethrone the email king, Ben, now's your chance. Send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. And, this month has been great for you and I revealing how little we know about how the real world works.
Right. I texted Seth a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, I am a dumb lollipop. Like, if there's anything that's been revealed, is that Michelle is stupid.
Well,
She's
not
real
just
dumb.
you and I don't know how meteors work. We
The
don't know
thing
how
is,
maps
Seth,
work. We
you
don't know
know
how tornadoes work.
I think, though, you have a grasp on it a little bit more than I do.
No, ask me how a tornado works. Wind goes around. I don't know. Wind gets caught in a cornfield or something. Can't go anywhere.
Can't go anywhere.
And hey, we're here. We're at the end of disaster month. Natural disaster month, I should say.
Yes.
We are here with our patron voted episode, which you did the tally this month. You looked at the votes.
I did.
But I did see the votes, and this was like far and away the winner.
Nothing came close.
Nothing came close to this.
Wild. Nothing came close to this.
You know what? That's a real good descriptor for this movie, actually. Nothing comes close.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes.
So, hey, if you're listening to this for the first time, welcome to Movie Friends. Before we talk about our movie, we write down a guess of what the other host will rate the movie at the end of our discussion. And if one of us guesses correctly, we add a pickle to our pickle tally. And then at the end of the year, the other guest has to give us that many pickles. That is so convoluted. But
The other host.
we're playing for pickles. And I've got 19 so far, and Michelle has 16.
Okay. Let me write down my guess here.
All right. I am locked in. My pencil is down. I'm ready to go.
I'm also locked in.
So, hey, we're talking about The Happening from 2008. This is written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, edited by Conrad Buff IV, cinematography by Tak Fujimoto, composed by James Howard Newton, costume design by Betsy Hyman and Ruth Myers, starring Mark Wahlberg, Zooey Deschanel, John Leguizamo, Ashlyn Sanchez, and Betty Buckley. Michelle, you want to close all the windows and doors and read our summary?
Elliot Moore is a science teacher in Philadelphia. On a seemingly normal morning, many people in the New York tri-state area commit suicide without warning and in public. Elliot, his wife Alma, his best friend Julian, and Julian's daughter Jess all flee the city in fear of a terrorist attack. However, as they leave the crowds of the city behind, they find no safety in the small towns, the fields, or anywhere. Will they be able to get to safety before they lose their minds? Will they turn on each other or themselves? Will they eat some hot dogs? And will they ever find out what was really behind the happening?
Hey, how do you feel about plants?
I like plants.
Me too.
Yeah. I eat them. A lot of them.
Well, you might be in trouble in this movie then.
Well, I don't know. I don't have bad vibes, so...
You think the plants would be your friend?
I think they would understand. I
Okay,
think they would
all right.
understand. Yes.
This was nominated and voted in by our patrons. Patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. By the way, you can sign up and you get to nominate films for us to cover. And our patrons if they are good at one thing, it is this, that they repeatedly pick movies that I would never pick for you to watch. Some of the most violent movies that we have ever talked about have been patron voted, and their streak continues, I will say. So I have seen this before, but I want to ask you, you were watching this for the first time, and I know that this is an extremely loaded question. How did you find M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening?
Well, before I answer your question, do you remember in like 2016 to 2018, there was the rise of audio dramas in the podcast form? So like Homecoming with Julia Roberts.
No.
And Sandra with Aaliyah Shawkat from Arrested Development, maybe?
No.
By an AI assistant. No. So you weren't listening to these audio dramas, fictional dramas.
I have no idea. No.
I was very into them. And I've always loved audio, hence why I'm in this podcasting medium. And TV and radio was always my favorite class in college. And so I couldn't help but think about The Happening as an audio drama and if I was able to listen to it versus watching it, because I think the premise is very interesting and it is really scary when you think about it, but watching it play out fell flat for me.
Interesting. Okay. I'm loving the idea of like Mark Wahlberg being in a radio play.
No.
Oh,
No.
He's not allowed in?
No. Nobody from this cast is allowed to be in the audio drama of The Happening.
So what you're saying right now is that you want to remake The Happening as an audio drama.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And that our listeners should claim roles that they want to play.
I mean, if that's what you want to do. But I'm saying I think this would have been more interesting if it was an audio drama with sound design versus what
Got it.
I watched.
Okay. All right. So you did not enjoy this one?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. Did Anthony watch it with you, or was this a solo mission?
He watched the second half with me.
Okay.
Yeah. It gave me the same feeling as I felt about The Village.
Oh, interesting.
Not great.
So I guess I should ask you your kind of M. Night Shyamalan history.
Yeah. I've seen Signs.
Mhm.
Sixth Sense.
Okay.
The Village.
Mhm.
And now this.
All right. And you didn't like The Village. Did you like the other ones?
I wasn't impressed with Signs. I think I saw that in
Wowee.
theaters.
Uh-huh.
And The Sixth Sense, I don't really remember how I felt about it. This is like, and how I felt about The Village is just leaves you feeling empty.
Ooh,
Like you
okay.
had a meal and you're just not satiated. You're eating like junk food, maybe. Junk food's not the right
Okay.
term, but like it's not like giving you any nutrients. And so I can't help but think, am I the problem? Yes.
Mhm.
Is this M. Night's tone? Maybe. And I don't get
Mhm.
it.
Got it.
Okay. I also was thinking about how I wouldn't mind writing something in this vein, right? We're working on a project that maybe not everyone is going to be into. And
Sure.
so, like, you create a project, and when we create what we're going to create, I can imagine that some of our family and maybe some of our friends will be into watching it because it's us and because they're there to
Right.
support us and they're like entertained by what we're going to do. But for like a grander audience, I can imagine they wouldn't be into it. So,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's with anything, but also that came to mind when watching The Happening. Like, just because I don't know. I was like, maybe some people enjoy this. Maybe M. Night's people are like, yeah, this is great because it's M. Night.
Right.
But the rest of us are like, what happened?
Right.
What happened here? What happened?
What happened here? Yeah. Well, you're not alone at all. In fact, you're part of the majority, the super majority on this movie. Even for M. Night fans, this is a really hated and disliked and, to me, misunderstood movie. But I don't blame anyone for not seeing in this movie what I see in this movie, I guess I should say. And I do kind of want to make a case for the movie if I can, but I also don't want to be annoying.
It's your show. Where else are you going to
Well,
make the case?
here's what I'll say it really, really quickly first. This is a really funny movie that was marketed as a scary movie, and everyone has the right to be mad that they were tricked.
Was it meant to be a funny movie?
I believe yes. I fully believe yes.
That's your opinion. Was M. Night like, this is a funny movie, but we're going to market it as a scary movie and we're going to trick the audiences?
He has said in 2 places that you can find. The intention with The Happening was to riff on genre B disaster movies or like creature feature type stuff. And he wanted to pay an homage to movies like The Blob or The Birds. So when I watched this movie, I had heard about it for years and years and years. When it first came out, my best friend Chris went to see it in the theater, and we loved Shyamalan films. Like every single movie. I didn't see Sixth Sense in theaters because I was
Right. We were young.
10 or so. I don't think I saw Unbreakable, but like, rented it, watched it as soon as we could. I definitely saw Signs, The Village, and Lady in the Water all in theaters and really liked all of them. I didn't see The Happening because he was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Don't see it. For years, that thought was reinforced by anyone who ever brought the movie up. So M. Night has an interesting he's got like a middle period that is pretty universally hated. So he does his first movie, Praying with Anger, which is the only movie of his that I haven't seen yet. Then he does this movie, Wide Awake, which is with Rosie O'Donnell. That's a good movie, actually. Then he does The Sixth Sense, and it's like blasts out of the gate. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's like nominated for Best Picture or whatever. It's added to the AFI Top 100 list, I believe. Huge movie. And of course, the thing that everybody remembers about it is this like twist, right? And then he does Unbreakable. So, Sixth Sense, genre film, horror movies, right? Ghost stories. Unbreakable, genre film, superhero movie. But you kind of don't really know that it's a superhero movie like until the very end. And then Signs, Aliens, The Village, period piece / folk horror, Lady in the Water. Each movie he's messing with a different genre. And so when he gets around to The Happening, he wants to make a kind of a disaster movie. This was originally called The Green Effect. I don't know if you looked into the history of it at all. Yeah. So it's called The Green Effect. It's much more overtly a movie about like nature and also about people have forgotten about like love. So in this version that we see, Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel say that like they can't remember what the color for love is on the mood ring, and then in the end they were going to say, "Oh, I remember what the color is, and it's green." So Michelle is making a face here. So I watched the movie, and I put it on, and I'm like, "All right, here we go. I'm finally going to watch the worst M. Night movie." Because I was trying to make a point to watch all of his films because I was like, this is a guy I like, and he hasn't made hundreds of movies, so I could see them. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is really scary and disturbing. And then I'm like, okay, Mark Wahlberg is really oddly cast as a science teacher, but it was like there was something. It felt like something else was happening, and then we get to Jeremy Strong comes on camera. And I think to myself, oh, Jeremy Strong, he's an incredible actor. Great actor. And he's doing this kind of character that's not just Jeremy Strong, right? And when they tell Jeremy Strong that the direction they just came from, that the deaths are happening there too, he kind of looks around and he says, cheese and crackers. And it was like a dam broke open in my mind. And I went, oh my God, this is supposed to be funny. This is supposed to be bad. This is supposed to be ridiculous. Every character who comes out and says, hey, guess what? I'm a math teacher. Hey, I'm a science teacher. Hey, I'm a soldier. These are all archetypes of dumb characters that you see in 50s and 60s science fiction or genre films. So I watch the rest of the movie and I start looking into it, and I find what M. Night says about it. He's like, yeah, the movie was mismarketed. It was supposed to be like a fun genre movie like The Blob. And so I just believed him, and that's how I took it. And no one else believes him. So to me, this movie makes perfect sense. And if you read people talk about the movie, which I have now many times, and if you listen to podcasts, people just keep saying the same thing over and over again. How could he make a movie this bad? Why do the people talk this way? And there's 1,000 questions, and they all have one very, very simple answer, which is that it's supposed to be this way, but no one believes that. No one takes that as the truth.
When I finished this, I wasn't wondering why.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't like, I don't understand this. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that nature has its own communication channels and we don't understand. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Also, like, the fact that, like, freak things happen sometimes, and sometimes we don't understand why. Also, I couldn't help but think, like, imagine a natural force is taking place, whether it's this or a twister or a hurricane, and you have to follow around the blandest people you know. Right? Like the point of view of the blandest people. Not everything is entertainment. except this is a movie for entertainment. But like, you could just look into those people's point of view and they could be so boring. Like, following me around during a natural disaster would be super boring. You should go
Right.
follow around someone who's going to like lead the pack or whatever.
A
It'd
hero.
be a hero. It would be more
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah.
That being said, this is a good concept. It's poorly executed, just like the cable guy. And the
Ooh.
podcast, I'm piecing out. That's all she's got to say.
Very interesting. Now, on the cable guy, you and I think we both had that same kind of.
We did. We said this is a really could have been a good concept,
Yeah.
but it was poorly executed. We both felt that way.
Right.
And I see what you're saying about this. I just felt like it was this again, I would have liked to have been played out differently. Even with what you're saying, that's fine. It kind of doesn't even fit into the narrative. I just felt like this movie was boring. Like and the other thing, it ended and it was like this wasn't even like entertaining to watch. Like, we weren't even mad that we felt tricked or where's the twist, or like I wasn't even wondering like why does no one understand about what's happened? No, it was just
Mhm.
like, oh, this is just like a waste of time.
So you didn't think it was funny?
No, I just thought it was stupid.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was so stupid. And there was definitely parts where I was just like, what? Like the whole hot dog thing. And it's not like it was a, it's just like, who is this guy? I think also, and again, what you're saying, if this is done on purpose, but I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't like the acting, regardless if it's supposed to be funny. I hated Mark and Zoe. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
no.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone made a good point that I think it was Ebert maybe. That like this movie kind of avoids all of the things that you would normally see in a disaster movie. And he brings out like when they go to get tickets, no one's like yelling and fighting and pushing. Everyone's just waiting online, buying their tickets and heading out of town. And
Yeah, it's
we
pretty
don't get
calm.
any, like running and buildings collapsing and the movie kind of like starts with a lot of action and then kind of funnels its way down into what's kind of like an anti-climax because they go out to meet and then just nothing happens. They literally are just like, oh, I guess it's over.
Right, and we can't
And that's it.
really
there's no great
No.
moment of danger or fear. They just go out and they're fine.
Right.
Yeah. And so I agree with you. And that's why I wanted to say what I had to say like in a mini version first. I don't think anyone who watches this and doesn't like it is wrong. Not in a million years. I don't blame anyone for not liking this. And I wouldn't even say like, oh, but you don't understand. Because I think that you bringing up the cable guy is a very good comparison. Ben Stiller, very talented writer, actor, and director. M. Night Shyamalan, very talented writer and director. Performer, he loves to do his cameos in all the movies. Performer part, I don't know so much about that. I don't mind seeing him though. I'll see him in the movie and I'm like, hey, there he is. He's here. But he's very talented. I think that it's too subtle. The humor is too subtle and odd. And then it's paired with like really disturbing violence.
Yeah.
They don't lock down a tone, but for me who likes this is like really, really exciting because it's pretty rare for a movie of this budget and this size to try to pull off just like, hey, we're going to show people really, really scary stuff. And then we're going to show Zooey Deschanel sitting, staring at her phone that's vibrating on the table for like 10 seconds too long. That's really funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think of, because I think of these movies a lot, I think about Don't Let the River Beast Get You. And how when some people will watch a Moturn film, they'll say like, why do they talk like that? Do they know that this is weird and odd? Is it supposed to be bad acting? And so for me, The Happening is like a $50 million version of Don't Let the River Beast Get You.
Except we have Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel, where we're used to seeing them act in a certain way, and then they're doing this, and it does not compute. It's just bad. It's just
Right.
missing the
And
mark here.
missing the mark. Unless all of that is on purpose. And it's a joke. The joke is Mark Wahlberg playing a science teacher. And I don't want to be annoying.
But even if he's playing a science teacher, that doesn't work either, because that's just it's playing a science teacher in an M. Night Shyamalan style movie that's playing homage to 50s and 60s creature feature. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on. Mark Wahlberg playing a science teacher, that means nothing to me, because he's playing a certain type of character. And even still, it's not gelling. It's just, oh God.
Yeah. There's a part in the movie where John Leguizamo's character saying, I'm going to go to New Jersey. The guy driving that car to New Jersey. Did you look up who this is? Okay. This is an actor named Brian O'Halloran. He's credited as Jeep driver. That's it. But John Leguizamo says, hey, these guys are, they're heading to New Jersey. I'm going to go with them. Brian O'Halloran is one of the stable of actors who works with Kevin Smith in all of his movies. All of Kevin Smith's movies take place in New Jersey. If you look at Brian O'Halloran's body of work, you've got Clerks, Dogma, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Clerks 2, 3, all of these movies with Kevin Smith. And not a lot without him. You know what I mean? And so it's a joke to have the guy from Jersey be one of the actors who is always playing a guy from Jersey that is never mentioned.
Sure. If you go and look all that up.
Which I did.
Right. So, okay. So that's this.
And so it's funny to have Mark Wahlberg, who, what he said about this movie was, he's like, at least I wasn't playing a cop or a crook. Oh. And so he is playing against type here. And so it's funny to be like, it would be the same thing as if you took Vin Diesel and you were like, hey, at the height of the Fast and the Furious franchise, be like, okay, now Vin Diesel is going to play like a ballerina in a movie. It's casting against type, and it's casting to be a subtle joke. Mm-hmm. And so Mark Wahlberg is like a terrible science teacher. He tells his students that as a science teacher, he tells them there's just forces of nature. We'll never know. That's funny.
Yeah.
Because it's so stupid.
Right. It's just not fun to watch.
And yeah, I get it.
You know what I did like, though? I did like the old woman, and when we went to her house.
Oh, really?
I thought that was when it piqued my interest.
Really?
I was like,
why?
Well, she was incredibly creepy.
Mm-hmm.
It also, to me, felt like, okay, this is representing, and maybe I under now, whatever, meant to be a joke. Haha, let's make fun of. But also, this is what happens when you isolate yourself and you cut yourself off from people. This could be the result, and not having human connection or love. And so I thought that was interesting, and everything that occurred while we were there.
And the doll.
Well, the doll. Jump scare for me. Thank you, patrons.
For me.
Patrons, let me tell you something where you are on my list.
I don't think most people think about the 5-second doll shot.
I'm kidding.
When they think about that happening.
Totally. I'm kidding. But I mean, whatever. The doll could be there.
The woman reiterates this kind of relationship between man and plant.
Yes.
That's being kind of subtly in some parts, not so subtly in other parts talked about. she talks about growing her own food, but then she also is like, oh, I can't really get plants to grow. I don't have the touch for it. My favorite part in that is when she just comes to them and she's like, are you going to steal from me? And they're like, no. And then she says, are you planning on murdering me in my sleep? And he says, what? No. That's funny. Like, you didn't think that was funny?
By this point, I cannot stand Mark or Zoe.
Got it. Okay.
So it was just the like, I was like, this is so stupid. And I get it, Seth, a lot. I just is like, it's so stupid. So stupid. Old lady, just kill them, please. Or are you a ghost or something? Please just kill them.
Wow. That's very interesting because this movie is not very long.
No,
right?
it's not. I'll give it that. I will give it that.
But if I were to cut anything, I'd be like, the old woman at the cabin's got to go.
No. This is when it gets interesting. This is when it gets interesting.
All right.
Because also we see the whole hypothesis is the plants are killing people in large quantities of people, right?
Yeah.
And then they see the old woman. So it's like, and she's by herself.
Right.
So then you start to think, oh, well, how does this theory still check out?
Yeah.
So I think that was a good representation.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, again, it's like funneling down from like large metropolitan area all the way down to individual people.
Right.
Which I think is kind of interesting on the message of the movie, which is like, hey, we can blame society for how we treat the planet, but then ultimately it trickles down to each individual person and our own relationship to nature. I think a lot of people, I liked this girl in high school, and she said to me, I don't mind littering because everyone does it. And if I don't litter, it doesn't make a difference. And if I litter, it also doesn't make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I no longer liked that girl after she said that, because I was like, littering is the most evil thing that a person can do.
That's right. Thank you.
Okay. I want to give you some quick credentials for the filmmakers.
Please.
Because again, I'm taking this opportunity to make my case for this movie. I've listened to a lot of episodes on this. This is actually the second time I've recorded an episode on this movie. So I've been down this track for a long time.
Your initial recording, has it changed from this one? Or you have felt this way about the happening?
Oh, no. I felt this way from the moment from the moment that Jeremy Strong said cheese and crackers. I was like, I am all in on this movie.
Okay.
This is an accomplishment of the highest order.
Okay.
Michelle just did the suck it thing, I think, to me.
Oh, no, I was flipping my table.
Oh, okay. Michelle just flipped her imaginary table at me.
I did.
But I've listened to a lot of different people talk about this movie, and like no one gets it. No one. Everyone's just bashing this movie all over. So I just wanted to say really quick. I'll be very quick. So Conrad Buff IV, he's the editor. He was the editor on Titanic, Terminator 2, Training Day, Mystery Men. Oh, that one's not as well loved. Tak Fujimoto, he's a cinematographer. Silence of the Lambs, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Badlands, Terrence Malick, one of the greatest American films ever made. The Sixth Sense, James Newton Howard as the composer. He did a little movie called The Dark Knight. You ever hear of it?
Sounds familiar.
He did all the Hunger Game movies, which I'm not a big fan of, but he also did a little movie, maybe you've heard of it, called Space Jam.
Oh, yes. Space Jam.
So I'm just saying, there are no slouches on the team. You know what I mean? These are all people who have worked for years and years on huge movies, and they're all very, very clearly talented people. And so, like, is it possible that they were all just asleep at the wheel on this?
No.
And so I think it does come down to like expectation, and especially at the time. I can't speak for you sitting there in a vacuum watching this in 2025, you're not bringing all of this baggage into it. But like at the time when this came out, again, you have Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, just 3 super loved movies that I think still are
Yeah.
really great, films. And then after that you have The Village, and that's like, okay, now it's questionable. There's a big twist in that, and it's like, that was stupid or that wasn't stupid. All right. Then you have Lady in the Water. I liked that movie, but a lot of people really didn't. So you have Lady in the Water, The Happening, The Last Airbender, which is the Avatar cartoon live action, and then After Earth. To me, his soggy middle period is just The Last Airbender and After Earth. I like The Lady in the Water and I like The Happening. After that, he does The Visit, which is a much smaller movie, much smaller budget, really small cast, and people are like, oh my God, he's back. And then he does Split with James McAvoy, and people are like, oh my God, he's back. This is incredible. He does Glass, Old, Knock at the Cabin, Trap, and it's like people are kind of divided where it's like, okay, what is he doing now? Because his more recent movies, they're taking really, really big swings. The dialogue is odd and it's not like how people talk. There's a lot of humor involved. I mean, Trap, the most recent one with Josh Hartnett, it's a good little kind of Hitchcock suspense thriller that follows a serial killer around as he's trapped at a concert with his daughter. But then, like halfway through the movie, it just makes this wild pivot, and you're either kind of in or you're not. And a lot of people put it on like, best of the year lists, and then other people were like, "This is absolute garbage and trash." And anyway, people are bringing a lot of expectation into The Happening. The poster for The Happening, which is like a stormy sky and a road with like abandoned cars. It looks very ominous. People are like, okay, maybe he's returning to aliens. Maybe this is an alien thing. Maybe there's something. If you watch the trailer for this, I know that you are tapped out on The Happening, but I would really love it if you watched the trailer because it is not the movie. It's not at all. Like I watched earlier today. I was like, there's not. Mark Wahlberg says like almost nothing in it.
It's probably for the best.
And it just shows like all of the scariest parts of it, like, but it doesn't tell you what's happening. And so you're going in to see this, and then this is what you get. I'm surprised people didn't like burn the theater down.
If that trailer was pieced together differently, how do you think it should have been pieced? So it not only produces curiosity, but produces truth to what you're going to go see.
I think that they should have marketed this as a comedy. It should have been one of those trailers. The first thing you hear is like a school bell ringing while you see the logo, and then it cuts into the classroom, and then you see a narrator. For Elliot,
in a world,
Tuesday mornings were his favorite time, and then you see him like running around the classroom, being like, "Oh no, the vice principal!" But when something crazy happened, and then you see all the people like falling off the building.
Yeah, but the thing is, like those scenes and what you said earlier, there's some pretty violent deaths.
Yeah, really violent. The lawnmower death?
Well, I actually thought that was funny. But when when they're all hanging,
yes, very disturbing.
it's very disturbing. So can the whole tone be played comedic when you're doing stuff like that?
No.
You can't.
And that's why this is such a gem of a movie, because they messed it up like so. The execution, like you said, like they they wanted to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And It's like you can't, we say on the nose as a complaint, but then you run into a movie like this and you're like, oh, now I know why studios want to be able to say this is this product.
Yeah, right.
This is a comedy and this is what you're getting. Because when you do it both ways, people don't enjoy it. So Jean and I went to a fair when we were in Canada. She really wanted to like ride the rides.
Mhm.
And specifically, all night as we're there, we're going around looking at different things, eating different food. All night she keeps like saying, "Oh, I hope the haunted house ride is still open. Oh, we gotta try to get the haunted house ride before we leave." And I'm like, "Why do you want to go on this haunted house ride?" So we buy tickets and we stand online for this haunted house ride. And as we're standing there online, people are getting off the ride and they're like telling the line, "Don't do this. It's horrible. It's not scary." And we're just like, whatever. But we bought the money and we paid the ticket. So it's finally our turn and we get in this like teeny little like mine cart thing. And it's not a roller coaster in that it like goes up and down. It just goes through a building all on one floor. It's like the worst thing that I've ever been on. There were 2 like scares, I guess. The whole ride lasted maybe a minute. Okay. There was like 2 scares, but like none of the animatronics worked. So you would just kind of like go around a corner and something would just be like sitting there. And you'd be like, "Oh, is this going to jump out? Oh, no, it didn't jump out at me. Okay. Is something going to happen? No. Okay." So you just like driving around in the dark to like Monster Mash or something. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible, but it was fun
You're right.
because we kind of expected it to be that thing. And so as I rewatched, I actually watched this with Jean-Marie last night. And I don't know, the majority of the way through it, she said to me, she's like, "This has to be on purpose, right? Like his other movies are not like this." And I was like, precisely. I didn't poison her mind with my opinion. I was taking my notes or whatever. But anyway, I just thought about that ride. And like, you can't. So like, as a studio and as a movie theater, you can't stand outside and say, "Buy this ticket for this ride. It's this." And then people go on it and they're like, "That wasn't what you told me it was at all." People are always going to feel cheated.
Right.
And if you feel cheated, you feel disappointed. You feel the injustices in the world. You feel a lot of things and none of them are good. So that's why, yeah.
I'm trying to think if this was presented to me as I knew it was going to be funny.
Yeah.
I think I would still feel how I feel.
Yeah, sure.
In that I would love to see this executed differently and let's make it serious because I think I just want to hear this as an audio drama. I don't want to hear it as an audio comedy. Let's, even if we maybe delivered all the lines with a different tone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So just as a concept, I think that this is really scary.
Yes, I do too. That's that's like in my +1 column. It's like, I think this is an actual scary concept.
He writes this script himself. He shops it around. Nobody wants it. And so he goes and rewrites it to be more of a mystery, kind of like what you would expect from one of his movies. Like, oh, there's going to be a twist and there's a mystery and what's happening. Where before it was just downright, this is a natural disaster. And that got me thinking about the other natural disaster movies that we've covered. There's no twist in Twister. I didn't even mean to say that, but there's no mystery, right? There's no mystery. It's a natural disaster. And so that's how he originally had it. He wrote it as just what it is. So I looked into this because in the movie, the hot dog guy, who's my favorite part of the movie. I mean, hot dogs have a bad rap. They're a cool shape.
They
is
have
what he says.
Protein.
If someone says to you, hot dogs have a cool shape in part of the defense of the hot dog.
If you're into wieners, right?
I mean, It's crazy.
You know
Anyway,
what? Actually, that part, that whole sequence of when we meet Hot Dog Guy
yeah.
and then we go into Jeremy Strong, that whole part reminded me of the others on Lost.
Oh, yeah.
Tonally.
You feel like something's off
Yeah.
with, you know. And I think that there are things that are off with it. I mean, his wife at one point says, I'm not trying to laugh at every single line, by the way. Like, I know that you don't like this. I'm not trying to convince you to like it. I
Oh, I
just find
know.
it so funny
Yeah, of course.
when his wife is like, there's binoculars in the back from when you were spying on the neighbors. Like, there's something wrong with Hot Dog Guy.
Well, yeah.
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 But he is talking to the plants and he's like being very nice to them. And he's like, yeah, plants, I think the plants are doing this because they can, you know, they can secrete. And so I tried to like look into this. And so I pulled a few things if I can read them to you.
Imagine
So
if I
this
said
is,
no.
I would be like, I understand. You're done. I get it. But this is, I guess, again, I'm still in making a case for this movie mode. Like, I can see where this, a lot of people thought that this was nothing, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, being like, oh, the reveal is that it's plants. That's dumb. And what I'm saying is, maybe it's not. Okay, so this is from an article talking about acacia trees in Africa and how when they were being like overeaten by elk or whatever, they started to like communicate with each other and like produce poison to kill the animals. So anyway, along with the production of thorns and the usual accompaniment of ants that nest in these trees, the African acacia has developed an incredible early warning alarm system to warn other trees when browsers such as the antelope are in the area. Wouter van Hoven, a zoologist from the Pretoria University, has found that when the leaves of acacias are nibbled, they produce high doses of tannin in their foliage, which may be lethal to browsers. The trees also release a chemical warning system to warn nearby trees of approaching danger by releasing ethylene that can travel as far as 50 yards. All it takes is 5 to 10 minutes for the neighboring trees to step up their leaf tannin production to repel lurking browsers. Now that's interesting and like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. 5 to 10 minutes. These trees, I mean, a tree, we don't think of a tree as like incredibly mobile and fast, right? 5 to 10 minutes, and they're like, okay, we're kicking into murder mode. That's an interesting fact. 30,000 antelope died eating these trees.
Wow. Yeah.
That is a mass murder.
Yes.
But it's not like murder, it's defense.
Right.
Right? So now we as humans, we don't like eat the leaves off of trees, right? But we do breathe. We all breathe. And the wind in the movie is what's carrying the toxins. Because I've also heard people who just kind of dismiss the movie where they're like, oh, the wind is the bad guy. The wind is killing people. No, the wind carries the toxin from the plants. People breathe it in and then they kill themselves. And then I also pulled this. This is a report from Cornell University from April of this year. They're working on communicating with plants because they have found that plants communicate with each other. And so they're trying to like hack it to program them. It says, we're trying to develop reporter plants that will tell us what they are experiencing at the moment. These include pigment-based plants that change color or fluorescent plants that light up when they need water. The ultimate vision is to have bi-directional communication, so not only could a reporter plant communicate that it needs water, but a farmer might also inform a plant that it could be dry for many days and the plant should use water more efficiently. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, this is real and this is what's happening. But there's scientific evidence. There's enough scientific evidence for us to say, hey, if we abuse plants enough with no malice in their hearts, because they don't have brains and they don't have hearts, but they do have defensive systems, could plants evolve to a point where they target the thing that is killing them. And that's fascinating and also very scary to me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I would love to see that laid out
In a
in
more
in a fictional sense. Like, obviously, I don't want that to happen to us.
Right.
Let
Yes.
me rephrase myself here. But yes, that is very scary. And 100%, even if there was no scientific evidence or write-ups, I would still believe because that this is happening regardless.
Yeah.
Nature is communicating with itself, within itself, that we're not aware of, in tune
Right.
of.
Because I mean, if one strain of trees is like, all right, we're gonna kill all of these antelope, what's to stop a different tree,
right,
or a plant or whatever from like launching a defense?
I recently got a Venus flytrap,
Oh, cool.
and that fascinates me. It's like, this plant is carnivorous. What? How? Why? How'd you get that way? How? That's interesting to me.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
That's it.
And I think that, and again, man, trust me, I'm not trying to say like if you don't like this movie or if you dismiss it that you don't get it. There's a lot of barriers. Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel being the biggest one. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of barriers, but this concept isn't scary to us only because we're not really familiar with this being part of our reality. The environment that we live in, we just subjugate it as humans. Like, we don't think about a tree and we don't think about nature, and we're constantly like, who cares if this thing is displaced or this thing loses its habitat? Like, everything will be fine. And I think that what we're finding, over the last 100 years, as we've lost an incredible amount of the population of the animal kingdom, is like things are not fine and things are not okay. And we're really screwing with an ecosystem, and an ecosystem does not care about your political beliefs or your scientific beliefs, your religious beliefs. Like, things are in a balance whether you want them to be or not.
Yep.
And we're messing with that. So
Yep.
yeah. You mentioned that you laughed at the lawnmower death. Did you laugh at the lion death?
Yeah, I did.
The guy just getting his arms ripped off and then he just like stands there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My favorite part of that is when the woman who's holding the phone, she says, what kind of terrorists are these? Because another kind of wild swing here is this is 2008, right? This is a post 9/11 film with a lot of 9/11 imagery and paranoia and fear, and the whole thing plays out in like one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, what do people do in the aftermath of a terrorist attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to like put that into this very odd box. How do you feel about mood rings?
I have one.
You do?
Yeah, it's Bigfoot shaped. Emily bought it for me, my friend.
Like, is it in the shape of Bigfoot or a Bigfoot?
It's in the shape of Bigfoot.
Okay. How big is this ring?
It's not that big. Okay. I'm holding up my, probably like 1/2 inch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe 3/4 inch, maybe.
Do you trust a mood ring?
I haven't worn it. I don't wear it, but I keep I kind of like treat it as decor.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I hated this though. In case you were wondering.
You hated the mood ring thing.
My thoughts and feelings on Marky Mark grabbing the mood ring as we're fleeing.
Interesting.
Hate it. I hate it. I don't care about the symbolism. I don't give a shit. I hate it. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the shape of it. I didn't like how he was wearing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shyamalan has used color in the past, to clue the audience in on kind of what's happening and what he's saying. The mood ring thing makes so much more sense back when the movie was called The Green Effect,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Changing it to The Happening and still including the mood ring thing.
Well, that's
Hey.
a big part of it. So, I mean, I feel like this is a big symbol. It would be hard to take it out, I think.
I think you could tell this story without the mood ring.
I mean, he involves it in so many conversations that he
Yeah.
has. So,
Yeah. Yellow means you're gonna laugh.
yeah.
That's not a mood. Pre-laugh.
Pre-laugh.
I'm just
Oh!
like if I call you up out of the blue, like, hey, what's your mood? And you're like, I feel a laugh coming on in a few minutes.
No, mood ring says you're gonna say something funny.
Right.
I feel it.
Because at that point, it's not a mood ring; it's like a magic 8 ball.
It's a magic 8 ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Blue is peaceful, and whenever we see Elliot in the film wearing it, even as he's like watching people die, it's blue. This, I think, is like the biggest thing that they fumbled. It doesn't make any sense. I don't mind it. And I actually thought it was kind of an interesting, practical way to continue playing on the color thing. They just didn't do it right. I felt like it didn't
Right.
quite work.
Right.
Especially taking out that final line about, oh, green is love.
Yeah.
Like, you need to say that, and then we see the ring turn green when they hug at the end or something. Also, by the way, okay, let's say you and Anthony, you're in your different little houses. You got your speaking tube, okay? And you've got my kid, right? And you say, darn it, if we're going to die, we want to do it together. Are you dragging my kid out into that field?
Absolutely not. Absolutely. Also, if I'm in my separate little house, first of all, why did I leave the house to go to the separate house? Okay, fine, I did it with someone else's kid that I'm responsible for, your kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm in the little house playing with all the little frogs. All the windows and the door are closed.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in, like, yeah.
I just thought it was wild because this isn't a disaster movie where it's like, hey, look, the tidal wave's coming. Like,
right.
We are going to die. The volcano, the lava's here. Let's all come together. And this isn't Melancholia, right?
Right.
This isn't Melancholia. Why are you bringing the kid out?
Well, just it's the same reason. Like, we have to have her swing. She has to swing. Give her 10 minutes to swing.
Yeah.
No. But also, I couldn't help but think, like you said, in kind of our real life, we have never experienced something like this before.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really take into account of nature on the everyday and the ecosystem. And so even though this is happening in the film and to these people, they're probably still like trying to live their everyday life as they can in the little moments. So
Sure.
if Jess wants to swing, let her swing.
Well, I can tell you, when you got kids and you're going through something crazy,
yeah, right.
Absolutely. It's
So
distract them.
Distract them. Yeah.
I just have a few more points.
Go ahead, Seth.
I thought it was very funny thinking about this as like people who give off bad vibes and people who are angry and they've lost love for their fellow man and planet. And later in the movie, it's like, well, why was it localized to this area? And then I was like, well, because New Englanders are angry and mad and miserable people. So it's like it starts in New York City. Yeah, that makes perfect sense if that's what we're doing here. If we're talking about the vibes and the aura and the mood that people give off.
Yeah.
Plants are like, hey, hostile people right here. Central Park, kill them.
Yep.
And then it just spreads out from there. I thought that was kind of funny. Elliot talking to the plastic plant. Can you walk me through your experience of seeing this?
I wasn't like too taken aback by this because I can imagine feeling like you're going crazy just by experiencing this. And so why not just play it safe?
I think this is the moment that like breaks people's brain, where it's like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Where he's talking to the fake plant? No, this is not the worst. No. This is not the worst. No.
My favorite funny line in the movie, when Alma has told him, hey, I went and got tiramisu with this guy, but nothing happened, but I still did it, and I just want you to know that, right? And so he says, well, I just want you to know. Then I went to the pharmacy the other day, and there's a real hot pharmacist behind the counter, and I pretended that I needed to buy a bottle of cough syrup. And he says, we're talking about a completely superfluous bottle of cough syrup. That's like $6. And then she says, are you lying? And he says, yes.
You liked this.
I would dream of being able to write as funny of a line as a completely superfluous bottle of cough syrup. You don't, that sentence structure.
That sentence, fine. The whole delivery of it, hate.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Now, in our Discord, Rushan brought up, he said, every week I listen to Seth rip apart a movie and then give it a really high rating. So now I'm like waiting for you to end this episode.
I promise you.
Be like, 4.5 stars.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
But yeah, it was pretty good. Okay, last thing I want to talk to you about. Or I guess I'll say last thing I will talk about, and then I'll put you out of your misery talking about this movie. Josh and Jared. We accumulate some boys along the way.
Yep.
They become part of our team. Josh and Jared. We go to a house, and they are shot to death.
Yeah. Wow.
How'd you feel?
Whoa.
Yeah. Hey, hold on.
I mean, no, that was legitimately my reaction. Whoa. And then we shoot the other one in the head, and I was like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And moments before this, we're talking to the people inside, and like, you're not going to let that poison gas in here. Blah, blah. Mark Wahlberg says, no, we're normal. And then starts to sing a song. And it is the funniest thing.
I'm so happy for
you.
He
finishes his song and then says like, see, we're normal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Normally we talk about characters and stuff like that, but we went a different route this episode. We did mention Zooey Deschanel. It's rough, but I think they're intentionally trying to be a little rough with some of these line deliveries and characterizations. We end with her being pregnant, and I'm like, I don't think this is a good idea.
Love. Woohoo.
But not even, they don't love each other. Like they clearly don't like each other.
Well, if disaster...
Or she doesn't like him.
Yeah, well, if Natural Disaster Month has taught us anything, like two people that shouldn't be together have to go through a very, very traumatic event to be like, oh my God, I love you. You love me. Let's be together.
Wow. Yeah. I think you just cracked it. I didn't think about that at all, but Twister, Armageddon, Sharknado, and this. There was one other thing that you had mentioned earlier today, which was the dogs.
Yes, dogs are not affected by this.
Yep. Well, no, the dogs throughout the whole month.
Oh, throughout the whole month, but yeah, I mean, dogs thankfully have remained intact and not harmed during any of the movies that we watched and talked about this month. And like you said, each movie either featured a dog, like as its own scene, its own character, Little Richard,
right,
or just in passing, we see a dog that's not harmed from the disaster.
So there's something about a natural disaster where it's like we want to show its effect on pets and dogs. Very interesting.
Or not, right? Like we want to stress you out and tug on your heartstrings, but we're not going to hurt an animal.
Right.
in doing
But
so.
it's like if we did 4 movies about bank robberies, and there just so happened to be a dog in every bank, we would be like, that's a really odd coincidence. And so just to have these 4 like wildly different movies, and yeah, there's a dog in each one. Somewhere in the writing process, they're like, all right, and now let's hear from a dog.
Let's hire those pet actors.
So throughout the whole movie, we're seeing news reports, as they're piecing things together, and then we end, and it's like, all right, yeah, this happened, and it's a warning sign. If it wasn't a warning sign, it probably would have happened elsewhere on the globe, but since it didn't, we have to really pay attention and listen and change things. And then we end, and it goes to France, and it's happening all over again. So it's the happening.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So this movie was made for $48 million. A lot of money for that, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Where is the money going?
In the wind.
that one doll.
That one doll.
Cost $3 million. This was universally hated, but made $163 million at the box office.
I believe it. Yeah.
Crazy. So that's how much people were riding in for Shyamalan,
Yeah.
This currently has a 17 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
2.1 on Letterboxd. That is hard to do. 34 on Metacritic. This is not the Criterion Collection, nor is it in the National Registry. Roger Ebert, 3 out of 4.
Wow.
Loved the movie.
Wow, Ebert. What?
He loved the movie, and it's not just because I like this movie. It's a really interesting review. Like he is almost saying like we need to take the happening seriously and expect for nature to rebel against us. And he even says like for years I've kind of waited for this to happen in our real life. It's I would encourage everyone go read Roger Ebert's 3-star review for The Happening.
Wow.
All right, let's get into our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies.
My happy for this is the subtle humor. That they are not outright being like, hey, this is a comedy and you should laugh at it. But once you see that it's funny, this is a hilarious movie. I laugh the entire time that I'm watching this. Every single line. I was telling Michelle earlier, when I take notes, I was just writing down like every single thing that people were saying, and I had to like stop myself. My crappy is they lied to audiences. They tricked audiences, and you can't do that. And this is great proof that you can't do that. If you can't figure out how to market a movie, sorry, your job is hard, but don't do that. And this is the best example of why you can't do that. What about you?
I don't have a happy. My crappy is that I would have loved to have seen this concept played out differently.
Got it.
I like it. Give it to me differently.
Oh my God.
I said I liked the concept. 5-star film.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so we asked some friends online what they thought. And I really prepared myself for a deluge of hate.
Yeah.
Didn't really happen. Over on Twitter, Sean Shank at Tyler_Burnham says, without looking it up, can you name the members of the Funky Bunch? Do you think Marky Mark still talks to any of the Funky Bunch? And listeners, if you're under the age of 38, Marky Mark started out as a rapper, and he was in a group called the Funky Bunch. I cannot name any.
Yeah, I
don't
can't
know
either.
Who any of these people are. Yeah.
Nope.
The Rhianninator, tape emoji, at Nan and Harry.
Hello.
She says, fun fact. This film was banned from cinemas in my town, but the reason behind it is not so fun.
Oh.
And so I said, elaborate, please. And she posted a news article, and truly, it's not that nice. because the film deals with suicide, there was like
Mm.
several suicides in the area, and so local officials decided to ban it. And one person who did not agree with it said, you shouldn't ban it because now people are going to be more interested in it if you just
Yeah.
let it play, you know?
Right, right.
So that's kind of fascinating, actually.
Mm.
It's Holly, exclamation point, rainbow flag, at not GH_Holly.
Hi, Holly, not Holly.
Right. Is it Holly or not Holly? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Says, say what you want about The Happening, but Zooey Deschanel's eyes were made for an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
She does have gorgeous eyes. Yes.
She does have good glaring eyes,
Yes.
piercing eyes.
Yes.
Cinekyle, popcorn emoji, camera emoji, at Cinna_Kyle says, oh no, not the crappening, face palm emoji. Why do the patrons want to punish you? Crying. And they don't. Our patrons love us. They love us. Over on Instagram, fan_named_Dan says, it's infamous. I've heard it's terrible. In possibly the best ways. I still need to see it.
Oh.
Infinite Third,
Hello.
good friend Billy Mays the Third,
Yes.
says, there are no bad M. Night films, in my opinion.
Ooh, okay.
I think there's at least one, but I think that there's only one. And it's not the one you're thinking of, people. And the Big Meanie,
hello,
says, hot dogs. I dare you not to be hungry for hot dogs after this.
Ooh.
You ever miss eating hot dogs?
Never.
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 Do you do the veggie dogs?
I have before, but
Yeah.
it's been, I don't know the last time I had one. Oh my gosh, what am I talking about?
I'm eating one right now.
No, on our anniversary weekend, we went to Nikki's Not Dog Stand, which is
Oh.
a vegan hot dog stand in out east, and we had delicious
cool.
hot dogs. I keep saying hot dog
Nikki's-
weird, and I hate it. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog,
Hot dog.
hot dog.
I say, wait,
Right?
excuse me, sir, can I have a hot dog? Yeah, I say hot dog.
Hot dog. Hot dog. Yeah, anyway, it was delicious. It was very, very good. Nikki's Not Dog Stand.
Hey, Nikki's Not Dog Stand. If you'd like to sponsor the show, you can literally just give Michelle a hot dog.
I would love it.
And we will say that you are the official Movie Friends sponsor. One hot dog. That's our price. All right, so this is some people that we do know. Now we go to a segment of the show where we hear from people that we don't know. It's called Half Star, 3-Star, 5-Star. These are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is a website and an app where you can log, rate, and review films. We start with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating that you can give a film. We go all the way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating that you can give a film. And on this show, I read the half-star review in a voice or an accent. Michelle, do you have a specific request for The Happening, or are we going over to the Wheel of Voices?
Let's go over to the Wheel of Voices.
Wheel of Voices!
All right, I'm going to spin the wheel and let's see who's going to read our half-star review tonight. Doc Brown.
Oh, I'm here, Marty. All right. Half-star review for The Happening, read by Doc Brown. I would be hard-pressed to think of worse performances than what we see here. I love a bad movie, but Mark and Zoe made this borderline unwatchable. So did the bizarre writing, framing, and story choices. And did I mention the horrific acting? They really said, first takes only. If it sucks, it sucks. And it did! All right. Thank you, Doc Brown.
Thank you, Doc Brown.
First takes only. Okay, sure. All right, 3-star review says, it's very dumb, but unlike some of the recent Shyamalan films that I hate, it doesn't bother me so much. Probably because it doesn't dwell on the idiotic details and it keeps the runtime to a tight 90 minutes. Despite the plot holes, I think it works pretty well and the cinematography is fantastic. No, you don't think the cinematography is fantastic?
I don't think I would say fantastic. I would say it's fine.
Sure. It gets a pass.
Yeah, for sure.
5-star review says, perhaps the best bad movie ever made.
Wow.
There's so many things wrong with it, but it's just so entertaining to watch. The idea, the acting, the dialogue, all bad. At one point, you even have Mark Wahlberg talking to a plastic plant. I love it. They should do annual screenings of this movie and make an event out of it. I'm obsessed.
Wow. I'm happy for you.
I would have loved to have done this as a live show.
I would also have liked to have done this as a live show.
All right. So last week you won, I guess. And so you get to go first. We rate a movie as a schmovie, a movie, or a film. We rate it 1 through 5 stars and give our final thoughts and recommendations. For Michelle, I wrote down a 2-star schmovie.
No, this is a 2-poo.
A 2-poo.
That's it. I'm not rating it as a movie, schmovie, or film. It's a 2-poo.
Wow.
And I'm not recommending it.
I'm surprised you're not going lower than a 2 then.
I like the concept. I said that. I like the concept. M. Night, let's just do like an audio production of it. And not make it funny. And let's do like serious. And let's like have you, let's like reinvent it and have you add a twist. A different twist. Okay. For you, I wrote down 3-star movie.
Okay. This is a 4-star schmovie.
I think I need to leave the show. I think this is the end of Michelle. Seth is now has forms open for you to take my place.
Wait, is that troubling to you?
I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Okay,
so I think that this is a great bad movie.
Okay.
I think that M. Night knows what is fun about those 60s sci-fi movies, and that he was able to at least give me a good time. I think that this movie has so many problems and things that they could have tweaked a little bit to make it more palatable, more understandable. Either make it a scary movie, make it a comedy. Pick one, you know. I honestly could do this whole movie without any of the violent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, trees actually kill things. So I could have done this without the comedy too. The fact that this exists though, the fact that someone paid $48 million for this movie is so funny to me.
That is funny. That is
very funny to me. And you know what? They made their money back. So it's like the perfect crime. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like no harm, no foul, whatever. Yeah. But now it exists. I would only recommend this to someone if I could talk to them first and say, it's funny. Take it as funny. Do not go into this expecting for it to be like a good quote unquote movie, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad that you indulged me in being very patient and letting me lay out my case for this movie.
Of course.
All right. Does this movie pass the Seth Shell test? The Seth Shell test is our spin on the Bechdel test. We require that a movie contains something tangible that is impressive, whether choreography, production design, or a practical effect. And it must have a runtime that is justified by its content. I'm like really on the fence about the practical. I love the shot when the people are hanging in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's so scary and creepy. And like that I almost wish the movie was that.
Right.
Because this is a wild, it's very scary to suddenly lose control and kill yourself.
Yes.
Everyone kills themselves. There's no like attempts that don't work. Like their brain is taken over and they immediately know how to die. That is very scary.
Yes.
I think I'm going to say no on that one, but the runtime, this is a short movie. This is great.
I agree. This is a no yes. The runtime's fine. Like it
Yeah.
didn't, no problem.
Hey, if you're at least a no yes on our show, we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you're listening. If you're on Spotify, you can leave us an emoji. Michelle, what emoji should they leave us for this?
Leave us a leaf.
Aw, that's nice. Maybe a leaf and a knife.
Sure. I was going to say something
Killer
really
leaf.
dark, but I'm not. I was going to say, like, leave the emoji of how you would kill yourself. Don't.
Oh, hey, you can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email if you watched The Happening and let us know what you thought. Also, just ask us a question. You know, we want some questions. Hey, what are you planning on being for Halloween? Let us know.
Oh my
Michelle
God.
just lit up like a Christmas
Yeah,
tree.
because I just got my whole Halloween party and costume nailed down that I totally forgot to share with you. So next week, we'll share it next
is it
week.
going to be The Happening themed?
You'll just have to wait and see.
All right. You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Look, folks, it's $5 a month, okay? And you know what? Do you know what we're doing with this money, by the way?
Tell them, Seth. Tell them.
We're going to make a movie, okay? So you might think, oh, you know, I hate these guys, but you love movies, right? And you want to help support us in the movie that we're currently writing and we're going to make next year.
That's right.
So if the Discord access isn't enough, okay, if the additional series aren't enough, if voting on monthly episodes and monthly themes, if all of that stuff isn't enough, hey, support the arts, okay? Patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Okay. Ooh, we're taking off a big blanket, right?
Yes.
We're going to stand in the sun.
Yes. I come alive
Because it's time
again.
to announce our next month, our next episode, our next theme. And I've been teasing this, and I don't think anyone cares. After 3 years of saying that we are going to do this. Now, Michelle is not a fan of horror films, right? And so each October, we've kind of picked let's not say a workaround, but we're not doing the Chucky, the Jason, the Leatherface, okay? And so for this October, Michelle, please tell the people what we are finally doing.
We will be covering.
Wait. Michelle just did the seagull meme where the seagull rips its head all the way back and then goes. Okay, go ahead.
We will be covering the Twilight series.
Very exciting.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
Some might feel that the Twilight series is a natural disaster. But you know what? I love Twilight.
Yep.
Twihard, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all of them. I've read the books. I've gone to the midnight showings. I have met some of the cast. I have asked them what kind of noodle they would be.
Wow, amazing.
I am excited.
I'm excited too. I've only seen the first 2, and then I've seen the end.
Okay.
But I have a very good time with them. Like to me, the Happening in Twilight, it's the same experience of like.
I mean, you know.
Well, it's like, is it good acting? Is it good writing? Is it good? No, but it's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
So we've literally talked about doing this for 3 years. We're doing all 5 movies. So
that's right.
So we're actually starting a week early. So it's going to be the last week of September and then all the way through. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited.
Me too.
All right. Well, hey, every week I say thanks, Michelle.
I don't know why you thank me every week.
Well, because I
think we need to do something different.
Other than thank you?
Yeah.
No, I'll always thank you, of course. But this week, especially, thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Seth. Thank you, patrons.
Yeah. You are the light of our life. You are the wind beneath our wings.
Thank you for challenging
You are the wind in
us.
our poison trees.
You're the
And we are hiding from you with our little speaking tube.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. And remember, folks, hot dogs get a bad rap. Till next week when we are talking about Twilight. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.